Hello, everybody. Let's move into solving percent problems. So I have a handy little box to use to help you solve these sorts of problems. Before we get there, let's go over some vocabulary. So when I say the base, that's the whole amount or the total. Okay, this is like what it's out of. And so often it's closest to the word of. 35 of 40 people, the 40 would be the base. The amount is going to be the other number. It's the part of the whole. And usually it's closest to the word is. So of for the base, is for the amount. The rate is the percentage. It's the ratio of the amount to the base, which is expressed as a percentage. So let's start with some practice on identifying each. So if we were asked to identify rate in the following three problems, we have 15% of what number is 75. So the rate here is the percent. It's the 15%. Okay, how about this next one? 200 is what percent of 500? Well, here we don't actually know the rate. The rate is kind of like the what. It's our unknown. And in the third one there, what is 8.5% of 200? It would be the 8.5%. So now let's move on to practicing identifying the base. Okay, first one, 70 is what percent of 350? So here the base would be the 350. That's your total amount of something. You have 70 of them. So it's the 350. And notice it is closest to that word of. Okay, next one. 14% of what number is 280? So here the base is what we're trying to figure out. That's the what in this question. And final one there, what is 25% of 300? It's the 300, that number closest to the of. Okay, last one, let's identify amount. So remember, that's usually closest to the word is. It's the partial amount. Okay, so we've got 30 is what percent of 300 or of 600? So here the 30 is the amount, and notice it is closest to that word is. Okay, next one, 24% of what number is 96? So here, the 96 is the amount. Your base here would be that what number? It's what you're trying to solve in that one. And finally, what is 12% of 5,000? So 5,000 is our total here. Our amount is what we're trying to identify. So it's the what. So go ahead, pause this video and see if you can complete this chart. So for these next questions, they want you to fill out the rate, base, and amount. Okay, so let's try these together now. So we have 26.1 is 45% of 58. Well, the rate there is going to be our percent. That's the 45. 26.1 is that percentage of 58. So the of is the 58. That's our total number. So that's our base. And the amount here then is 26.1. Next one, we have 16%, so that's our rate, of 60, so that's our total amount. Our base is 9.6, so the 9.6 is the amount. Okay, 75 is 25% of 300, so 25 is our percentage, that's our rate. 75 is, that's our amount, and 300 is our total amount, our base. Okay, last one. So we've got 20% of what number is 50? So 20 is our rate of what number? So this is going to be like our question mark here. That's our unknown. And 50 is our amount. Okay, let's do a few more examples. In a class of 35 students, so that would be our base, 7 received a grade of A. So 7 is our amount. They want to know what percent of the class received an A. So what we're trying to figure out in this question then would be the what. So let's do a couple more, pause this video and see if you can do those next two word problems. Okay, let's look at this first one. So when we're dealing with markup, that's the amount of stores adding to their cost of an item to make a selling price. So the markup is 25% on a bunch of Italian parsley that costs the grocer $1.20. And the markup is 30 cents. So let's write this with the amount is the rate of the base. So what's our amount here? So our amount here is the 30. Okay, that is 25% of our total, which is $1.20. So the amount extra the grocer is charging is 30 cents to make a profit on that parsley. And last one, Doyle borrowed $2,000 for a year, and the interest rate is 12%. And the question is asking how much interest will he pay? Now here we can just identify the amount, base, and rate, and then in the next section we'll get into actually solving these. So Doyle borrowed $2,000 for a year. The interest rate is 12%. Well, the interest rate is easiest to figure out. That's the one with the percentage. The 2,000, is that the amount or the base? Here it's going to be the base. That's like our total amount. The amount, sorry, the 2,000 is the base. That's the total. The amount is going to be the 12% of the 2,000. It's going to be a smaller number. And so here we would put in a question mark because in this case, that's what we would be looking to solve.